My name's Jodie Bunting. I'm very proud and pleased to announce Lady Francine from the Fat Factor. Okay, Francine, you're looking very glam today. Welcome to Excel.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about your story, because obviously a lot of people know, a lot of people might not know. How big were you once?
I was 24.5 stone, which I'm only 5'1", so I was probably as wide as I was tall, really.
Okay, can you show us a photo of you at
Yes,
this?
I probably,
this one?
these aren't my biggest pictures, but that's the back of me. Yuck, not very attractive.
Okay.
Okay, looking at one of my kids, that might have been Leigh-on-Sea. That was me at one of our kids' bar mitzvahs, and I wasn't even at my heaviest there. And that's my husband Clay.
And how do you feel when you see photos like that?
Repulsed. I'm repulsed, not because I'm repulsed by larger people, because I'm not, okay, but I'm repulsed because inside I must have just I seemed to want to I wanted to fix the world at that time and make everybody. I wanted to be the perfect mum, I wanted to be perfect at my job, and I just became a big invisible big bubble. That's how I felt. I was always posing with food. I guess that I was hiding behind it.
Yeah.
That makes me a bit sad. And even this was not we had 2 weddings. I'm still married to the same man, but this was our Jewish wedding. So we got married when we were 18, and a few years later we had where my husband converted. And even then, he's feeding my face, and nothing has ever changed. My life, also being a Jew, revolves around food and eating and stuffing food into people's mouths. So I guess I've got a good and bad attitude about food.
And how do you think? What were the causes of getting so big?
I wanted to repair things that had happened in my own childhood, I'm pretty sure, and my mum was an alcoholic, and because she drank and she seemed to have her priorities in different ways, I wanted to turn myself into the best mum that I could. I kind of did it wrong, because they still find fault with you and you still can't do it right. So now I realise that there's no perfect mother, and I'm certainly not that. And I made loads of mistakes. But I wanted to be the feeder and the mummy at home, and I just kind of stopped looking in the mirror. I wanted to make them perfect and most talented and the cleverest, and I ignored myself for really a quarter of a century.
Okay, and what was your turning point? What made you decide to lose weight?
It was always going on in my head for all those years, and I started a new diet every Monday and then messed up and then started a new diet the following Monday. But my daughter Natalie had a baby 5.5 years ago, and she showed me a snapshot, and of course when you have this little 7-pound baby, you think it's a big baby when it's in your tummy, but posing with my little granddaughter, she looked like a little tiny dot in my great big mammoth size. And then I realised that, first of all, I wasn't the granny looking person that I wanted to be, and secondly, I realised that I was perhaps not going to have a good quality of life or even live that long to watch her grow up.
And how did you lose weight?
Well, like I said, I've tried every diet under the sun, and I saw an advert for the Gastric Band. I borrowed the money to get it done, because my husband said, no, this is another diet that's going to cost thousands of pounds and it's going to bite the dust. So I borrowed the money, I ignored what he said, I had it done, it worked beautifully for me, and then I had a conversion to the gastric bypass, which is where I'm at now.
And how has it changed your life?
Oh God, it's changed my life because I can go into any shop and just buy anything that I want. I can just be, first of all, I wanted to just blend into the background and just be able to wear anything ordinary, not be the fattest lady that I could be in the world. But now, for a middle-aged lady, I wanted to look good, because all those formative years and all the years when my kids were young, I just didn't look at myself, so I missed out on every single fashion, every single jean size possible. So it just feels fab that I can be fab now, and 3 years off 50.
And how long ago did you have the bypass?
A year ago.
And how much weight have you lost exactly in that time?
What do you mean? Do you mean since I had my bypass?
Yeah.
I lost perhaps another 1.5 stone since my bypass. And all in all, I've lost 14.5 stone. The reason, which a lot of people may query, how I was allowed to have my bypass as a smaller person with a smaller BMI, was because the surgeon knew me, and knew that actually I can't control myself with food, and felt really that I'm just an eater. So
a long-term fix for
a
yourself.
A long-term fix, yeah. So I'm not saying that that's the right way.
But it's the right way for you.
It was the right way for me. And I'm afraid food still is my fix, and I'm just relieved that I'm not a cocaine addict.
Absolutely. Some people have alcohol, some people have drugs.
Yeah, and because my mum was the alcohol, I guess mine was food, and I just got fat on my own. I didn't inflict it on anybody else.
Now, with regards to operations and the surgery and things like that, people think it is a magic wand, and as soon as you have it, then you don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
Would you like to enlighten our viewers?
So it isn't, because with the band, if you're not being good, then you can really mess it up. You can let the wrong food slip down there. So therefore you're not really educating yourself with food. You're constantly being sick, so I was constantly going out to the toilet to posset little extra amounts of food that were sitting at the top of my tummy. With the bypass, it's perhaps much more easy for me to manage, and there's no sickness, but I've got to be careful, because if I consume too much sugar, then I become like a diabetic and I go into kind of funny little hypo. So there's no quick fix. You have to get your head around your addiction, whatever it is, and now I've just learnt to live with my bypass, and that's with me forever.
Excellent. Okay, finally, I just want to ask you about the other Fat Factor contestants. I think you've met quite a few in the exercise sessions, haven't you? Have you been getting on? Have you been having fun?
Yeah, really fun. I think they're all great. I've been loving it. I've been absolutely loving the exercise more than anything. And really, I haven't exercised for many years, since I started losing my weight initially. So it's been great, and Gemma's been fantastic. And even though I'm naturally quite a lazy person, when I've had my session, I feel full of all those endorphins, or endorphins.
Endorphins, yeah.
Endorphins, and it's just really cool.
You've been on a high as you left.
I've been really on a high.
Now, before you go, I will just share a little secret with you. Out of all the contestants we've had on Fat Factor, all the judges, we are quivering in our boots, because we know you can read our minds.
No,
so you are a medium, and how...
I call myself a large medium.
Oh, really?
I'm medium small.
Okay, and what do you think of the judges? How have you been reading us over the last few weeks?
I think that the support that I've been receiving, I've been getting all these amazing fat tips from you, Jodie, have been wonderful. With all the affirmations, have been fantastic. I've liked every single one of you. I found that nobody judges anybody here. So really, you're calling yourself the wrong thing, really, because...
Absolutely, we're unfat Fat Factor, aren't we?
Yeah, and it's a very liberating, wonderful place. You've got great energy, and your business is going to go from strength to strength, I can tell you that now.